Hello and welcome. My name is Salom and this is the RPMGA channel. The question today is, would you buy a used car or a brand new car? We are going to discuss this topic and be fair to both parties, the brand new car party and the used car party. But if you were very quick to quip a resounding yes to buying a brand new car, well, let's look at the first thing. The first thing is the economy, okay? And this thing, this topic, we need either Kenofori Atta or Ato Forsten to come and help us, because Charlie, we would not really understand. But let's assume that the average salary for the average Ghanaian is 2,500. Okay, you'd have to take care of your bills, your utility, food, transport. I mean, take care of all these things. If you have a family, I think about the kids, school fees. I mean, the demand is a lot, okay? And you want to buy a car because, let's be honest, I'm going to say this here and now. Car or owning a car is not a luxury. Maybe some 20 years ago, it was a luxury because maybe some systems work in the public transport. But now, owning a car is not a luxury. It is a necessity. Because of how the system is becoming now, it is an absolute necessity. We are not going to argue about that. So you have to buy a car. I mean, with that kind of burden and your income, your salary, it is not going to make sense to buy a brand new car. Or so, that's what we've been told. But let's look at the car market now. If you want to buy a car, okay, a registered maybe 10 years ago car, so that 10 years ago would be like 2015. So let's say you're going to buy a 2015 Yaris now, registered. You should understand that you are going to pay not less than maybe 100,000 cedis. You get, and if it's unregistered, you could go maybe above 100,000 cedis. And you have to save for that. And that is even the used car. So obviously, everybody will think that going to get a brand new car is going to be like 500,000. In all fairness, that's not entirely true. It depends on the kind of car you are looking for. You should always keep that in mind. If you are going to buy a RAV4 and you are complaining that a brand new RAV4 is expensive, so you are going to buy a used Yaris, that argument wouldn't really hold. So you should know what you need at the point in time that you are going to buy what you want to buy. So if you realize that it's a car you need, a vehicle you need, and you want to get a brand new car, you should understand a brand new car saves you a lot of stress in life. I am not going to overemphasize that. It saves you a lot of stress. I mean, for the next 10 years, if you buy a brand new car now, for the next 10 years, you should understand that you'll be saved from a lot of stress as opposed to buying a used car, okay? But statistics show that as of 2024, we had about 67%, around 67% of the cars in the automotive industry being used cars. I mean, that is shocking. It's not even a competition. I mean, if it was 50-50, you'd be like, okay, like 50% used cars, 50%, but it's not even 50-50. And the survey or that stats is not for only 2024 alone. So I think it was taken over a period of time. So you can imagine all this while, we still have more used cars in the system than we have brand new cars in the system. In fact, over 90% of cars that were imported, I think last year, over 90% or 90% of them were all used cars. This is very conclusive. It tells you that people would go for the used cars more than they will go for the brand new cars. So with that in mind, it tells us that Charlie, the brand new cars are not doing very well. And these are some of the reasons. So as I started, it's because of the economy. And it has created a perception that it is impossible for the average Ghanaian to buy a brand new car because of the prices. And some time back, they were being charged in dollars. It's now that the governor of the Bank of Ghana is saying that everything sold in Ghana should be charged in cedis. So now when you go to a showroom, they are going to price it in cedis. so that they don't get in trouble with the Bank of Ghana. But before, it was in dollars, and the prices were absurd. Like it kind of scared you. But if you sit down and you do the calculation, you realize that it's not too different from the used cars. Let me give you a classic example. So last year, I looked at the Geely Coolray, and at that time, it was going for $22,000. Now I think it's going for like $23,000. But they are not calculating it in dollars anymore. It's now in cedis. So in cedis, it is less than 400,000 cedis. It's like, I think 390 something or 370 something. But it's less than 400,000 cedis for a brand new tier rubber car. Okay. As opposed to you going to buy, what is it called? A used car. And with a used car, I mean, I've had a conversation on this before with my very good friend Eddie. The video is in my channel. You can go and look at it. I'm going to pin it here so you can look at it, where we discuss this. However, the perception is it is too expensive. Brand new cars are too expensive. But if you compare them to what is going on in the market now, as I said from the beginning, you should know what you want. I am not against used cars. I'm not against the people who are selling used cars. In fact, I have friends who sell used cars. But I'm just trying to let us look at these things objectively. Some of these used cars that we are even bringing in, we don't even know where they are coming from. We don't know what they've suffered, the damage they've suffered. Because it's cheaper to get a damaged car in Ghana than to get a whole car in Ghana. And these are reasons I can't really fathom. It's unbelievable. But that's what is going on here. Okay. And so people look at price. But I would say that before you look at price, look at what you want and what you need. Not what is trendy and is flashy. You may be misled. That's the truth. And you may go for something that will give you issues and you'll just be uncomfortable and unhappy. And I wouldn't advise that. So instead of looking at prices like that, used cars are cheaper than brand new cars. I think you should sit down and count your cost. So again, let's look at the Yaris I was talking about. So you are going to buy a Yaris for 100,000 cedis or for 100 and something thousand cedis. And you go to, let's say, Toyota, and they are selling Aja, I think it's the Aja, or even the Yaris. So you go to Kia, and they're going to give the Picanto for around the same price, but it might be just slightly more. So if they're selling it for like 200,000, or even Toyota, I know that the Starlet is going for like 200,000 ish. It's around that price range. If you could save 100,000 cedis, or you could save up to 100 and something thousand cedis, I think you should just give yourself some more time to be able to buy a brand new. Just save up some more to buy a brand new car. Unfortunately, in Ghana here, we don't have the banks helping you buy a car, unless, of course, you are working in a bank or they have a product for some companies. But it is very hard for you to go to the bank and tell the bank that, you know what, my salary is 1,500 or my salary is 2,000, 3,000. I want to buy a car that is 200,000 cedis, so I want you to pre-finance me. Usually it doesn't happen, so you have to save. But if you have been able to save from scratch to 120,000, I think for you to get a brand new car, you can save up to maybe 200,000 and get the car. You might be lucky, it might be discounted, you never know, just saying. So the first thing is you should look out for what you need. It's what you need. If it's something to move you from point A to point B, or you have a large family, you need something slightly bigger. And that one, again, look at what you need and your pocket. It helps. Okay. Another thing that makes people tend to go to used cars are because they feel the used cars are more equipped. Well, with that, I think I'll be inclined to agree. Let me explain. The reason is that when you go to a showroom, okay, the cars there look too basic and too not entertaining, okay? Because you go and watch videos online on the same car, then you realize that actually it has so many options, it has so many things, but the one you go and see in a showroom sometimes even look different. Case in point, the Toyota Corolla. You realize that the ones they sell in the showroom here is different from the one that we even see outside, like the normal one we see outside. That's not what they sell. That is because of something the dealers call a market. So when they are going to get their cars into Ghana, they look for the region Ghana is in and the market Ghana belongs to. So the Corolla here in Ghana that are being sold at Toyota Ghana is so different. Like different not in terms of equipment, but different in terms of how it even looks. Okay. And that is what like kind of make people feel like no, they are not going to go for brand new cars because they are not fun enough. Another car that I'll bring to your attention is the Kia Cerato. Okay, I happened to get very close to the 2013 model when it came brand new, but in the US market they had a push to start feature, but in Ghana here you didn't have a push to start feature. You had to use the keys to start it. It's funny things like these things that make people not want to buy brand new cars, okay? But then the dealers will tell you that the companies come to Ghana, they come and drive in Ghana, they come and see how our roads are, they come and take some pointers, then they will come and give us the car that they think would fit Ghana. I really hope this video gets to a government official, a high government official, because I've always had a problem with that. If you go to a country like the US, you realize that you don't even tell them what you are bringing. They give you specification. Of course, they cannot meddle with your ingenuity or with your ideas or with your creativity, but they tell you specifications. Okay, they tell you what you should allow in your design and what you should take out of your design. That's the reason why you bring a US Toyota Corolla here is so different, even in looks, because of market. I'm sure I'll make a video to explain this more, but because of the different markets we have, you realize that the cars look different and they are equipped differently. This makes the brand new cars in Ghana here look like basic trim, and it is so bad sometimes. Like they are so basic trim. Somebody will be like, Charlie, I want infotainment, a touchscreen infotainment that is nice and it can do so many things. But the one you go and get in the dealership is probably monochrome. That is all you get. If it is blue, it's blue. If it's red, it's red. And it is quite small and it's not interesting. You just get radio and you probably get to put your phone in or maybe a USB to play your music or something. So it doesn't really appeal to people. So we are just talking about appeal here. What I would say is, again, sometimes or most of the times, we don't use all the features in the car. And in as much as it's paining me to say this, it's the truth. Some people can drive the whole day and the only thing they use in their car is Bluetooth to their phone. That is it. They wouldn't use anything. They wouldn't use the sat nav. They wouldn't even use the sat nav. So they just connect their phone and maybe play music through their phone and they drive. They are gone. Finish. They make the thing a bit more. But you see, to them, it's nice they have it. It's nice knowing that I have a feature that when I press this, the car will dance, or when I press this, the car will do something interesting. But the dealers are telling us that they feel we don't need all those things, and that becomes a problem. So these factors really go into why or which car you would go for. Either you go for a brand new car or you go for a used car. So another thing is hype. Very interesting how this works. So assuming I buy a 2011 Corolla and I used it to do something that maybe it shocked me a little, I'm going to hype it to my very good friend, the one who is helping me shoot this video, Caesar. And Caesar will be like, oh, Salom said that, oh, this car is a very good car. I'm going to buy this car. Then Caesar will go and buy it. Caesar might not even experience what I experienced, but I end up telling another friend of his that, oh, Charlie, this car is a very guy car. And before you know it, everybody is saying this particular car is a guy car, even though it is a very old car that the dealers are no longer selling. So what happens is they are going to go for that car, and it's going to raise the demand for the car, and people will bring it more into the country and sell. You see how it goes. So one person's hype will make the whole market be flooded with one particular car. And in case you didn't know, after a point, that car becomes too expensive. Because again, economics, if we go and call the economics people to explain it to us, you realize that the higher the demand, the higher the cost can go. So the more the demand and the supply is limited, the higher the cost will go. So it's basic economics. So it becomes expensive after some time. That's the reason why second-hand cars or the used cars seem to be gaining so much price point as compared to the brand new cars. It's crazy just because of hype. Another thing that affects this is because of the weak production or assembling of these cars in Ghana. To the glory of God, it's now something that is fading away. We have more car brands assembling their cars in Ghana. Even though we don't have cars being manufactured in Ghana, hopefully in time we will get there. But as we speak, it is assembling. Let me explain. So manufacturing is different from assembling in the sense that when you manufacture, you probably get all the raw materials, everything, the design, the planning, the building, the experimentation, everything being done in the domiciled country. So if Ghana is manufacturing, let's say, cocoa, or let's say cornflakes, it means we get the raw materials either from Ghana or outside Ghana. However, but we do all the production here from the beginning to the end. Then we make the cornflakes here. But if we say we are assembling, what it means is that you take maybe the package, they've manufactured the package somewhere and we brought it to Ghana. They've manufactured the cornflakes, so they've manufactured the package from England and they brought it to Ghana. They've manufactured the cornflakes itself from USA and they brought it to Ghana. And they've manufactured the rubber to put the cornflakes in another country or in the same country. All those things can be manufactured in the same country, but when they bring it to Ghana, then we just bag it and box it and sell it. So you see the difference. Manufacturing is you doing everything from scratch in the place, and assembling is you getting the major components or parts from different countries or from the same country and bringing it in to piece them together. So in Ghana here, we are doing a lot of assembling. So we bring the engine, we bring the chassis, we bring the braking system, we bring the body, we bring all the things, the transmission, we bring the differential, we bring the shaft, everything. Then we come and assemble it here. So that's what we are enjoying in Ghana now. In a way, it is making the prices a bit more soft, a bit more bearable. And that's another reason why it looks like the prices are actually not too far off. So the reason why the prices of the used cars are getting higher is because demand and supply. I explained that. And the reason why the price of the brand new cars are coming down is because of assembling. So if we have a stronger presence of manufacturing cars in Ghana and assembling cars in Ghana, it is going to make the cars much more affordable. That's what I think, by the way. The next thing is regulations. So you realize that for some amazing reason, I actually said this in the beginning of the video, but for some amazing reason, if you are bringing a car from outside the country that is dented or there's been some sort of accident, it is cheaper to get that car in. And what some people do is they buy the parts and put it in the car and they ship the car with the parts and they come and they find a mechanic who will just mend the car and that's it. So it's cheaper. And another thing is people actually go to sites like AutoCheck cars 45 GH, and they go and look at these cars and they buy the cars themselves. So they don't have to pass through a dealer who they feel like, oh, Charlie, the dealer is going to knock my head with some stick or something. And they buy the cars themselves. Sometimes they know what the cars are coming with, sometimes they don't know what the cars are coming with. And that makes the used cars more than the brand new cars in the country. So that is it. I have tried to explain to you why people will go for used cars and why people would go for brand new cars. The truth is, even with my explanation, it looks more like people will still go for used cars than brand new cars. But let's look at them carefully. You realize that the prices are basically not too far off, even though they can be far off. They are not basically far off. And you realize that we are getting more assembling plants or more assembly companies in Ghana. And you realize that when somebody is giving you hype about a car, my advice is do your own research. That is why I am here. You could always hit me up, send me a message. You can even send me a question or a message in the comment section. I will get back to you. I'll try and answer you. That is why we are here, to open these things up to you. And we also saw that the trims they are bringing into Ghana, most of the trims are like basic level trims outside the countries, and they don't have a lot of features. And that's the reason why people will go for the used cars, because they have more features, and that makes the used cars sometimes a bit expensive. All these factors make it very, very interesting, and they're clever. People want to buy the cars themselves, the accident cars themselves from outside the countries, because we have apps or we have sites that make it so easy for them. These things make it very interesting, and it explains why the statistics tell us that over 90% or around 90% of used or cars in Ghana, or cars that are imported into Ghana, are used cars, and why we have 67% of the total cars in the automotive industry in Ghana being used cars. With this, I hope it makes your decision very easy. If you have the money, I would advise you go for a brand new car. However, know what you need. I believe everybody, should they pull themselves together, can buy a brand new car, because the prices of these used cars are crazy. Like, I'm not even joking. Maybe one of these days we are going to have a video where we are going to ask of prices of used cars, and you would understand what I mean. They are crazy, and the painful thing is they are old cars, like 10 years ago cars and things. They are so expensive and crazy, as opposed to brand new cars with better safety features. I won't talk about other features, but I know for the safety bit, you have better safety features because they are refined with time. I hope you learned a lot, and I would like to know your decisions in the comment section. Would you go for a brand new car, or you will still go for a used car? Let me know why you would go for a brand new car or a used car, and I will get back to you. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, which I know you did enjoy this video, please don't hesitate to subscribe to the video if you haven't already. If you already have, then you like this video and share with your friends. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.